David Faustino.
Hello, this is Andrew Chalmers, the writer and doctor in Doctor Who Doctor.
This is Dr. Steve-O.
Everybody, this is the Governator.
This is Inspector Gadget.
Hey, what's cracking, y'all? It's your boy J-Rock.
Good evening, folks. This is James DeBell.
This is Jeremy Taggart.
This is Kim Possible.
I'm Chris Holden-Lee.
Hey, this is Pat Mastroianni from Degrassi.
This is the evil Dr. Bad Vibes. Again, this is Missy Bear. And this is more from X-Men.
Hey, this is Andrew Gustess.
This is Sean Gunn.
Hi, this is Robert Carradine.
It's Tammy Stronach from The Neverending Story.
Hey, it's Zach Callison.
Hey, I'm DJ Jenny Rob.
And I'm Neil Young.
I'm Commander Shepard.
Ralph Garman here. You're listening to Droids Canada. You've made an excellent choice. You have chosen wisely.
Warning. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello.
Droids Canada here on location at FanExpo Limited Edition Toronto. Metro Toronto Convention Center?
Yes, we are in the very empty North Building.
The very empty, well, we did get here early as we usually try to do, but it's very odd as compared to other years where it's just such a mass of people. And I think maybe it's the limited number of people that are being allowed into the show, which kind of really makes it, but man, there's so much room. They have all the stages that are set up in the North Building with the celebrity autograph area. They have the celebrity photo ops area. The Trailer Park Boys setup looks pretty cool. Hopefully they'll be doing their photo ops there because they literally made a trailer park scene, which is pretty awesome. So it's starting to fill up a little bit, and yeah, I have no idea what to expect from the rest of the day. I think we're going to go head out to the South Building, see what they have there in their marketplace, and yeah, it's just a very different look and a very different feel going on with FanExpo right now.
Definitely. But I mean, at the same time, though, we had the ability to follow up with a new friend of the show. Who's a new friend of the show?
Friend of the show.
You already forgot his name. You can't say his name. Just
no, I didn't.
Say you can't say his name.
I can say his name.
Say it.
James Marsters.
James Marster, also known as Spike in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, and he's an absolute delight, I must say.
Oh, yes. Super guy. Gave us a 10-minute interview a couple of days ago via Zoom, and we weren't able to touch upon his music career that he's doing. So we made that contact, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you something else where we can talk about music, because that's kind of my thing. And
this is kind of just our live diary of the day, because we don't believe that we're going to be able to secure any type of interview, mainly because of the limited capacity of how everything is going. So we figure we might as well have some fun. We're finishing up in the North Building because there's literally nothing here except for celebrities. So we're going to head down to the South Building and see what kind of madness we can get up to.
Exactly what we're going to be doing. So we'll check back in with you in a bit.
Spadoikel! Dan.
Hey, what's going on?
We're on the road again.
Yes.
Well, we're going home.
We are going home en route from FanExpo. What was the tagline they had again?
For what?
FanExpo.
Limited edition?
Limited edition.
Very limited.
It was limited.
You know, I'm going to say this. People have already begun shitting on this show. And I think it's unfair. And I'm not saying this because they gave us an interview. I'm not saying this because they gave us Media Pass. Anyone who knows me, Dan.
Yes.
I'm very honest.
To a fault.
To a fault. But I will say, it was well done with all the cards stacked against them.
Yeah, it was literally the very first that I know of show that has been allowed in Canada with all of the restrictions that we've had. Still some travel restrictions and whatnot coming through, with PCR tests having to be done to be able to come through. And
fucking hate PCR tests.
Yeah, so of course it's going to be a lot more difficult to get some of the A-list that, of course, a show the size of FanExpo is going to want.
Right. I think that it did well considering. Now, I'll be honest and say this. When I walked in the North Building, I was in shell shock.
Yeah, because they usually have the big, like the secondary merchandise area there. But that was just open space, which, you know, they did that because they had to with the social distancing rules, only allowing, you know, with capacity limits, you have to have that space to have the people they want in there for the celebrities.
And it was spaced out nicely for us, and we said earlier on the first part of the segment of this show that we were able to talk to James Marsden's. I fucking did it. Marsters, not Marsden, right, Dan?
That's because I was messing you up while we first started.
He's not white bread Cyclops.
No, he's not boring Cyclops.
That's all you kept saying. Is he Cyclops? It's not Cyclops,
No,
Dan.
I knew he wasn't Cyclops. It's just their names are so similar. Like, I would love to be able to ask him if he ever gets people calling him that because the names are so close.
Okay, I guess. Okay. He's changing lanes. He gave me the 1 minute.
Yeah, no, just concentrating on my drive.
Only had almost one collision.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a collision. It was just I had to brake.
Then we found out that Dan's Lexus has the ability of just tightening the seatbelt up really harsh. No, I think seatbelts in general do that.
But with a harder than average brake, it snugs on you just so you're safe.
Right out of the Mantitas.
Door of the Explorer. Seatbelts. So we can be safe.
Swipe or no swipe?
Ing.
Oh, I don't know. I never watched the show, man. I don't have kids.
But that show teaches kids that you can be 5-6 years old, wander off with a monkey on like different.
Yeah, because that's totally safe.
I know.
You want to go hang out with the monkey?
And you know what? You should figure it out. The first time the fox tries to take something from you, get away from the damn fox.
What is
Not
it?
Every single time. Oh, look, there he is again. I wonder what he's going to do next. He's going to swipe.
Oh, good. We're about to get out on the highway here, Dan.
Yep.
And as you can tell, we have a traffic condition.
It's just slow.
So, I think the biggest... you know what? I'll give it some negatives. I'm going to be fair. There was some negatives. And I think it was the first thing that you pointed out, and I was forced to agree, and it has nothing to do with FanExpo. More towards the vendors. Where is the diversity? Where is the selection? Because here I am walking around. I got a fistful of cash, which Dan knows. I purposely paid all my bills off in advance. I put extra money in my credit card. I'm like, oh boy, the credit cards. They're going to wonder if I got my credit card stolen because I'm going to be running up a bill. And all we found was Funkos.
Yeah, it seemed like half of the vendors were just all Funkos. It's lots of Funkos. Is Funko still a thing?
Yeah, but I think it's just so oversaturated that, like, I found one of the Deadpool Funkos I did not have, and I know for a fact I can get it for $29, and they were selling it for $59, and I'm like, I don't need it that much, because I have a lot of Joker, Harley Quinn, Deadpool Funkos, and recently it pains me to say that somehow I have begun collecting John Cena Funkos, which was a joke that has gone horrifically awry.
I totally didn't see them.
No, they're just empty boxes.
Because you can't see him.
You can't see
I wonder
them.
if they would ever do the "you can't see me" Funko and it's just an empty box.
They do. It's a see-through. I have a see-through of John Cena.
And you can't see him.
Well, you can see an outline, but it's actually just a see-through of John Cena.
See-through.
I bought it because it was an Amazon exclusive.
All right.
I don't know where it is. It's probably in the trunk, but
like you said, you can't see it.
So that was the thing that irked me the most because I wanted to get my Christmas shopping done today. That's what it boils down to. Not everything. There's other things that Littlefoot's going to get for Christmas, and she's very aware of that. But, she's nerdy, and she likes her Harry Potter. And nothing. And you had a hard time finding Demon Slayer shit?
Just little trinkets for the kiddies.
I don't know.
Cats, I mean, as in children.
And I'm sure they had a hard time getting vendors because it's not that vendors don't want to go. You have to convince them that it's a good idea to go.
Convincing the vendors, or the vendors convincing that it's a good idea for us to come?
I think a lot of vendors just didn't want to go.
Yeah, possibly, because you have no idea.
The usual is not there either.
I said, which is why I'm totally fine with this show, is because this is the first reintroducing back into Comic-Cons. Like, yes, for a FanExpo, it was a lot smaller. Same size of rooms or whatnot, but the one thing that I really noticed was when you're going from north to south, we weren't able to do that this time, where you have all the staircases and stuff that you have to do, and it has all the different levels, where there's so many different groups that meet on all those different levels.
Right.
There was none of that because it wasn't allowed. You weren't allowed to stop and gather.
That is all. I want to say that's a pro and a con.
So you don't have all of those groups that always show up to meet each other there.
And like I said, that's a pro and a con because we have friends who do that, and then and the reason why I'll say it's a con because sometimes you're trying to get from point A to point B, and this is one thing I never understood, that people pay $65 to get a ticket to go into a convention and then sit at the entrance.
But I remember in the past you used to have to show your pass once you got to the main hall, so you didn't have to pay to get into those other areas.
Right.
Like, I don't know if that's a thing or not.
I don't know.
No clue.
But we did get to speak to James, which was really cool, and hopefully we spoke to him, and he seemed very interested in having a follow-up interview. Once Dan rapid-fired radio station, radio show.
Well, yeah, of course, because
for your music.
Because we do that. We do radio station, radio show, radio station. So, yeah, he has a band.
I want to say he has a good fucking playlist, though.
Oh, yeah, he showed us the playlist. It was pretty fun.
I had the man's phone, and he's like, go ahead, look at the phone. I'm like, you gave me his phone. Like, I was confused. Like, yeah. He must really like us to hand us his phone.
Scrolling through his music playlist, it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
It's funny because it doesn't, it's all over the place, but it kind of makes sense because of the person.
It does. It totally does. He has a lot of artists on his playlist, like a lot of different genres of music and just like people who are known artists, like not just Joe Band or whatnot. It's a lot of artistry on that.
And I hope we can work something out having him on the radio station because I would love to hear more about his music. Like, we put it on after the show, and it's pop punk, you think you said it was?
Yeah, it was kind of a pop punky. There was a little bit of the upbeat, like upstrumming kind of that you get in like your Sublimes and your, like.
I like this version of Come As You Are.
His version of Come As You Are was pretty cool.
Pretty cool. What else? I'm just trying to think. That was it. Like, there wasn't really any exhibits for us to kind of see. It was just like, north is your celebrities, south is your vendors, and I felt bad because I deterred a group of people that we knew to going to the North building because, we're going to go to the North building. I'm like, don't even bother. If you don't have nothing celebrity, don't even bother going.
Well, it was like 80% of people were in the South building because there was more.
I feel that they should have had at least 5 or 6 vendors in the North building. I think putting up those 2 giant frame areas, like, I know they set that up as the stage for to do your panels, and that makes sense. But still, even then, you're kind of like, this is like you're leaving money on the table now.
See, we were there before the panels were starting, so maybe it would have been a different feel to the room once there was panels and stuff going on. Like, it's hard to say, really, because with the panels, they couldn't have seating. With seating, you're going to have to go and sanitize everything, and it just would be a big kerfuffle, which would take a long time. So they just had, like, standing room. So having the 2 different stages set up, you could fire off panels one after another from side to side and maintain that easy access space to it. Where usually the panels are all done in all the side meeting rooms.
Makes sense to me. But that's pretty much our recap show for the day. We wanted to get more, done. Unfortunately, we had to use the cards that were dealt to us because they're the same cards that were dealt to FanExpo. So we want to make sure we want to thank FanExpo again for having us for our 5th or 6th. I don't even know how many times we're at right now for FanExpo. But special shout out again to Touchwood PR. Fantastic people. I enjoy working with them every single time. They give us opportunities all the time, really. They have in the last 2 years, but that's outside of everyone's control. Anyway, Dan, any final words?
No, nothing other than the traffic's moving a little bit quicker now.
All right, that's me and Dan from Droids Canada Podcast, the original Ayatollah of rock and roll. Buy a shirt. Redbubble.com/Droids Canada. Dan, what happens every Thursday?
That would be DCR Droids Canada Radio.
And what time is it at on Thursday?
That's from 9 till 11 p.m.
Dumb question. Where do you find it?
You find that at accessradio.ca.
And what's the best part?
It's